On a very, very chilly morning here. The coldest morning that we've had so far, 2 degrees this morning. So very, very chilly. I've got my door closed to my craft studio because I've had the heating on, and my craft room is nice and cozy and warm. So I'm just trapping the heat in to keep me nice and cozy. So welcome, jump on. I'm sure it's freezing in New Zealand. I'm sure, Sheila. I'm sure it would be absolutely freezing. I had to laugh yesterday. I was talking to some people and they were saying about how cold it had been. And they were complaining about a 13-degree morning, how cold the morning was. And I'm like, well, ours was 3 degrees. So, not that I wanted to out trump people, but, when someone's saying that 13 degrees is cold when you've got 3 degrees, and I'm sure there's many other people that have got minus something degrees. So I don't think we need to complain, but a very, very chilly morning. There's definitely a cold snap. And from the look of the weather report, we're going to have some cold mornings for the next couple of days. So sunny and warm in I don't even know how to say that. Saskatchewan. I don't even know how to say where you live, Brenda. But anyway, Saskatchewan. Anyway, that was just a definite massacre of that name. It's in Canada, correct? I think I've got it right. So welcome everybody. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I had my youngest daughter up for the whole weekend, and we had just a great time. We went shopping. Um, they are saying Queensland could be getting snow. Well, there you go. You never know. It's very cold up here, I can tell you. Julie's saying that Queensland might be going to get snow. Not quite sure where. Maybe I think more like Warwick would get snow more than me, because I know that in Warwick, when I'm complaining about the cold, it's like 5 or 6 degrees colder in Warwick. So you're going to have snow in Glen Innes. I reckon you would, Matthew, definitely. Um, one of the beautiful things about living in Glen Innes, Matthew, I can honestly tell you, I love the snow. So please keep snow. So welcome everybody. So as I said, I had a lovely weekend. We went shopping on Saturday morning. We went to the cinema Saturday afternoon, and that's a rarity for me. I very rarely ever go to the cinema. We watched the movie Twister. Now, I seen the original movie Twister, and this movie is I remember when I watched the original movie, I was on the edge of my seat every time they went to a tornado. And I do apologize for all of my American friends that suffer some horrific tornadoes. I can honestly tell you, it gives you a whole new concept of what people go through when tornadoes. And they actually said the storm that we got that did a lot of damage here just before Christmas, they actually thought it was a mini tornado. And I can honestly tell you, the strip of destruction that it left in Queensland, and when I was watching this movie Twister, I am telling you, that I really now do believe that what we had in Queensland before Christmas was definitely a mini tornado. So yeah, we had a great time at the cinema. So we went to the cinema on Saturday afternoon, and then yesterday we went and watched my eldest daughter play hockey. And then of course my youngest daughter drove home from hockey and I came home, and then I had my friend with me, Lucy. She came to hockey with me, and then we came home, we grabbed takeaway, and we played cards until, I don't know, about 8 o'clock last night, and then I dropped her home. So I had a lovely weekend, a really beautiful, relaxing family and friend weekend, which was absolutely wonderful. So I can see quite a few of you jumped on now. Okay, so this morning I'm actually going to be using the Country Flowers bundle, you pairing it up with the Country Lace Designer Series paper. Now, the Country Lace Designer Series paper is the paper that I will be using for my scrapbooking workshop for the month of August. So if you haven't subscribed to that or registered for the scrapbooking, you still have a few days left. What are we on now? We're on the 15th. You've got 5 more days to register for the scrapbooking workshop. Now, there's a couple of different levels in my scrapbooking workshop. I will actually just pop up the QR code for you. If you want to scan that QR code, that will take you straight through to the registration process. So for the basic scrapbooking workshop, which is just a double page layout, so it's the beginner version, you will get 2 pieces of 12 by 12 basic white cardstock. You will get 2 pieces of the designer series paper. You will get 1 sheet of the Saying Something ephemera pack, and you will get the sketch layouts for all of the 3 double page layouts. So, but you won't get the supplies for it. If you get the mega kit, then you will get a full pack of the designer series paper. You will get a full pack of 12 by 12 neutrals cardstock, which is 12 sheets of cardstock in the neutrals colors. So you get 2 sheets of each color. You will also get a full pack of the 12 by 12 basic white cardstock. You will also get a full pack of the Saying Something ephemera pack. Now, I will be using the Changing Leaves bundle with this month's, with August scrapbook workshop. So if you wanted to, if you haven't got the Changing Leaves bundle, you can add that on at the time of registration. There is some add-ons there, but you can definitely add that on if you don't own it. But we will be using be using the hybrid embossing folder and stamping and using it to actually decorate our pages, because the Saying Something is actually just sentiments and titles. So it's not actually is not actually got any, well, I don't think it has. I haven't opened it up yet, but I don't think it has any sort of embellishment. So I'm using the Changing Leaves as the embellishment. You can scan the QR code there, or the links are always in the description of the video and in the show more box down below. But as I said, 5 more days to be able to register for that. Now, I actually have had a few people that have registered even in the last few days for my November retreat. So we have an issue with the accommodation with November retreat. So you need to secure your accommodation. Now, I have been told that the Annalee Motel has some rooms available for that weekend. So there is still room for more people to register and be able to book the Annalee Motel. So please make sure you secure your accommodation before you register, so that you definitely have somewhere to stay. They do not charge you deposits for your accommodation. Just as long as you've got your room booked, you are good to go, and then you can jump on and register. My 2-day retreats my Christmas one is the most popular one. I'm already overwhelmed by how many people have registered. So if we end up getting too many people, I'm going to have to close the registration. So, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's really, really important that you get your accommodation sorted before you actually jump on and register. You can actually get a retreat in a box. So if you can't make it in person, you are not going to lose out. You will get everything that people get in person. You will get that delivered to your doorstep in a box. It just costs an extra $25 to get it. Now, for the November retreat, you will get a stamp and die bundle. I haven't chosen it yet, but it will be out of our holiday catalog. This is going to be a Christmas retreat. So it is going to be Christmas projects. It is not going to be anything else other than Christmas projects. So if you want to get your Christmas crafting done, it's early in November. So it's a great timing for getting your Christmas projects done. You will get to do 8 projects, but you will get a stamp and die bundle that we choose. You will get a half pack of designer series paper. You'll get the cardstock to make 8 projects. You will get a full pack of embellishments, a full roll of ribbon, and you will also get a PDF showing you step by step how to make your 8 projects. And there will be a combination of projects. It's not just going to be Christmas cards. It will be maybe Christmas tags. I don't know, maybe an ornament. We don't really know what we're going to do just yet, but there will be some really different projects. And we normally keep you busy because it's 2 days of crafting. So I can honestly tell you, we keep you busy by doing some different projects. We like to change it up and do some different 3D items and you name it. So it's a definite combination of a lot of things. You can scan that QR code. You can come back to this video and scan the QR code, or you can always check in the description of any of my videos. You will find the link for my November retreat, and you will also find the link for my scrapbooking classes. So that's just a few things that I have going on at the moment, and I'm super excited about my retreat. I can't believe how many people are keen to come to a Christmas crafting session. All right, so country flowers is what we're going to use today. I'm going to also incorporate it with the country lace designer series paper because I just love it. It's a beautiful, delicate designer series paper, and I think it lends for many different things. You can it's also a paper that you can actually incorporate some male themed things as well. So don't just think because it says country lace that it's lacy and it's girly, because it is definitely not lacy and girly. With some of the reverse sides of the patterns and things, you can definitely do some male themed projects. So so don't think that you're limited to just female orientated things. So let's pop the camera down and let's get into crafting. And once again, I know I'm going to use the country flowers bundle, and I know I'm going to use the paper, but I have no idea what I'm going to do. And I was just checking to see if my dies were in there. That was one thing I was like, oh my God, did I put the dies in there? Now I do have a blade for my trimmer. And the reason why I have a blade for my trimmer is I wanted to show you how to change the blade. It's so easy, but I do have people that say to me, my blade is running rough, it's cutting ragged edges, you know, like, and I just wanted to show you because my trimmer actually needs a new blade. So this is some of the designer series paper. So I'm going to do things more like with the petal pink, but as you can see, the reverse sides, we've got basic beige, but we've also got some of these neutral tones as well. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it. I'm not quite sure whether I'm just going to do the petal pink or whether I'm going to throw in some of the blue in behind. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow. I have no idea at the moment exactly what I'm going to do, but I've got these 3 sheets and that's what I thought I would use. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you how to change the blade in your trimmer because it is super easy and a lot of people have asked me, and so I said that I would show it in a video for them. All right, so in a replacement pack of blades, you normally get 4 blades, and I think they're around $21. Like, I'm not quite sure the price. They were around $21. I don't know whether that's what they still are. So, and they're in these little plastic holders. And the reason that they're in the little plastic holders is to make sure that you protect the blade. Okay. Now, I just wanted to show you, and I don't know whether if I can show you up close here. Can you see right here? You can see right in here that the plastic guide goes out a little bit. There's a little notch. Now, people don't realize that that little notch is there. I don't know if I lift it up there, you can see it a little bit better there. So can you see how that there is that little, hang on, I'll see if I can hold the thing up this way. Can you see that there is that little notch right there? Okay, so right there, it goes out. So if we slide our blade along to there, you'll find that it has 2 ends. If we slide it one way, one of the little feet picks up, and if we slide it the other way, we can pull the blade out. And that's actually how we put the new blade in. Now, my suggestion is with those old blades that aren't cutting your cardstock and your paper very well, keep them and put them aside because they are okay, sorry. The commentary running across well, that's because you've got text on your screen. That is not happening on every. So Zana is saying that the commentary running hides half the bottom of your work. That is because you've got captions on. Turn the captions off and you will have no problems. Sorry, that's only just on your screen. It's not on everyone's screen. It's hard to see, but I can see it, Virginia. Yeah. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we are going to, where that little gap is, we are going to put our trimmer blade in, and they're both going to fall down into that gap. And that's it. There's a little cog icon. Oh, you're on Facebook, so I'm sorry. I don't know. If you jump over, Xana, if you jump over to YouTube, you won't have the problem. On Facebook, I don't know how you turn the captions off. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Sorry, Xana. Anyway, so we have now changed our blade. All simple as that. Now, I always keep my scoring blade up the top. I always do that so that when I'm going to score, I can put the cutting blade down the bottom and I can keep scoring with my scoring blade. So I always keep that up the top. All right. Okay, so we've changed our blade, so we're all good there. So I think I'm going to use a basic white card base. Actually, no, I'm going to use a petal pink. I'm going to use petal pink as my card base. Now, I'm going to double check and see what size this piece here is. We could probably get a card base out of that. Okay, so we've got there. We can do 5 3/4 there. Perfect. And I love a new blade by 8, and that's going to give me my card base. And then I'll work from there what I'm going to do with the rest. All right. So we have that. Pop that over in my bin. All right. And for once, you found me on YouTube? Yeah. And you won't have the problem then. Yeah, I don't know. It's a Facebook thing. Who knows with Facebook? I don't know. I never know how to fix anything on Facebook. Facebook is not my most favorite platform. And you'll get a better stream anyway on Xana on YouTube. All right. So we're going to fold our card base in half and burnish it with our bone folder. Okay, so there's our card base, good to go. Now, I really love this pattern paper, so I want to use some of that on the front of my card. But I also, I don't know, I also like the blue, but I also like the basic beige. Anyway, I'm going to cut a nice strip to go down just this side panel of my card. And I'm probably going to back it with, so let's do 5 1/2 that way. And I might do 2 3/4. Yeah, maybe 2 3/4. Okay, let's try 2 3/4. I might just do 2 3/4 there. And I've got a different strip here. So I don't know. I might use that as well. All right. So we've got that. Now, I'm going to pop that onto the front there, but I definitely want to back it with something because you know me, I like layers and I like contrasting layers in behind. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I've got some misty moonlight, do I have some misty moonlight here? Oh, maybe I don't. Let me see if I'm lucky enough that there's some in here. Oh, I am lucky enough. There's some in my drawer. All right. There's a piece there, which will be good. All right. So we've got some misty moonlight. So, of course, I want to pop a little bit of misty moonlight in underneath this one just to give me a nice layer. So I'm actually going to trim that one down 1/8 of an inch smaller so that it will layer onto my misty moonlight. So I'm going to do that at 5 3/8, not 5 1/2. All right, so we've got that happening there. That will layer nicely there. Okay, so we did that one 2 3/4. So we need to do this one 2 7/8, and that should layer up nicely underneath. Good morning. I can see I didn't hear either, Sherry. Keep mine to cut glimmer paper. Yeah. To keep the old blades to cut things like your glimmer paper and things. Anything that's going to blunten your blade really quickly, keep the old blade for that reason. So then you're not ruining your good blades. Hello. Hey, Andrea. Morning, Kay. Is it cold in Ipswich, Kay? Oh, you all want me in the corner. I'm not in the corner. Sorry. I always think of Dirty Dancing when people say that. You're not in the corner. I don't know why. I just always think of Dirty Dancing. No one puts baby in the corner, but you all want to put me in the corner. That makes me laugh. Okay, there we go. I'm down in the corner. There you go. All right, so we have that layer there. Now, I also want to do another layer that's going to sit on top. So I think I might bring in, do I want to bring in this layer? No, I think I'm going to bring in the blue layer. I think I like this one here. So let's do a layer over the top. We've got some more Misty Moonlight that we can do as our layer, because I did find that I have some more here other than just that little piece. I've got some bigger pieces here, so we'll be right for that. All right. So, although do I want to do petal pink behind it? No, I think I'll keep it with the Misty Moonlight. All right. So now I want to do another section that's going to go on the front here. So let's do, I always tend to like a 3x4. I don't know why, but I always like a 3x4 inch square on the front. I'll see what that looks like and see if it's going to work. And this is just a simple template. Like, it's not a hard thing to do. Oh, I like 3x4. That will be good. So now let's cut our designer series paper. So that way it was going to be 4. So we'll do it. I want it that these stripes are going to go, that they're going to go up and down. So I need my longest measurement. So I'm going to do 3 7/8. I need my longest measurement that way. And I need my shortest measurement this way. So I've got my stripes going up and down. Don't run your finger under the blade to check it's in. How do I know? Yes, you don't do that. All right, so 2 7/8 because we did it at 3 inches. So we've got 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and that's going to give us a great layer there. So we're doing that and that. All right, we've got those. Let's just glue those together because we know that we've got that done now. So let's grab some of our liquid glue, and I'm just going to adhere those to those Misty Moonlight layers. Morning, Daryl. I hope you said hello to Sue for me. All right. So we have our layer just like that for that one. Let's grab our petal pink and we will pop that onto that layer. Now, I'm not going to adhere these down because I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put my bow or how I'm going to put my bow. So I'm just going to sit them just there on my card. And as you can see, we've got a great layout already just with that. Morning, Janice. So we've got a great layout just with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these gorgeous stamped images and we're going to do a little bit of coloring. All right. So I need some basic white, which I need to grab from behind me. Okay. I'm going to cut a layer for the inside of my card, and then the other layer that I will have left, I will be able to use as my coloring piece of cardstock. So let's cut these at 5.5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to cut another one at 5.5 so that then I can cut them all together. So 5.5. Okay. Now we'll put the two together. Did you know that you can cut 3 pieces of basic white cardstock on our trimmers because it is, our blades are so good that you can do that. So I've just cut 2 layers there and 2 layers there. So it's a bit of a time-saving thing. You love the whole suite, Leslie? I know. It's gorgeous, isn't it? All right. So we now have a scrap piece of white that we can do a little bit of stamping on. So we're going to take the can, I suppose you would call it, that one just there. Now, when I stamp images and I color, I like to, I'm just going to pop that on a block. When I stamp images and I color, I like to make sure that I only use my basic gray, and it's personal preference. Okay, I'm going to work out what flowers I'm going to put in. I might do, let me see whether these flowers are going to sit really nicely in this. Oh, I like that. What do you think? Those flowers in that pot, or do you think in the can, or do you think the other smaller flower, like this one here? I don't know. I'll think about that. I might color both and see which one fits best. So let's try that. Why not? Okay, so let's do that one. We've got enough white paper here, it doesn't matter. And let's do the other flower, and we'll see which one's going to sit best on that can. We might like the more thinner one because of the size of the can, maybe. Anyway, we'll pop that onto a block and let's do this. So did you know that when we color with our alcohol blends, we can actually use any of our ink pads? So when you're using alcohol blends, you have to stamp your lined image with a water-based ink, which all of our inks, all of our colors are all water-based ink. And when we use our blends, because they're alcohol, we need a water-based ink so that it doesn't bleed when we blend. So we can use any color we like when it comes to stamping our images. So because of that, I like to stamp with basic gray. Now you can hardly tell the difference. I just feel like it gives a nicer look. And if I want to do a more pastel look with my flowers, I could even use smoky slate. Okay, today I'm going to use basic gray. I'm going to stamp up both lots of flowers. So I've got one lot here. That's the narrow ones. And then I've got the wider bunch here. So I'm not quite sure which way we're going to go with our flowers, but we've got both stamped. Cutting blades are $23 for a pack of 4. Okay. So whenever you need to replace your cutting blades, and honestly, I cut all the time with my blades. And I very rarely change them. I change them every couple of months, and I use them consistently all the time. All right, so I'm going to grab some blends now, and I think for my can, I think I'm going to use a combination of smoky slate. I've got light smoky slate. I want to try and find my dark smoky slate. That's grey granite. All these greys look the same. Grey granite. And I've got that many light smoky slates. They're all light. There's got to be a dark here somewhere, surely. Dark smoky slate. There we go. How many lights do I have? 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'm going to start with that. And I think also I'm going to use, I think, petal, whoops, a daisy. Now all my blends are going everywhere. Petal pink. And I mean, Misty Moonlight might be a bit too dark. Do I have some Misty here? That's dark Misty Moonlight. Where's my light Misty? Is that light Misty? No, that doesn't look like light Misty. Boho blue. Oh, we could do boho blue. Oh, that's up here. Light boho. Light Night of Navy. I thought I had all my blues mixed together. Well, all in the right spot, but Dark Night of Navy. What is this one? I don't know. I can't find Azure Afternoon. I've got light boho blue And I've got dark Misty Moonlight. I think I might just use boho blue. I can't find dark boho though. Ugh. Look at all of these blues. Now, wouldn't you think that one of those blues would be the right color? Actually, you know what? I know what I can do. I can cheat a little bit. All right. Anyway, we're going to do the colors with our petal pink, the flowers with our petal pink to start off with. We'll do our tin first, and then we will move on to the blues. Every time I keep thinking I've got Misty Moonlight, I pick up Night of Navy. All right. So I'm first of all going to color with my light smoky slate. So I'm just going to add some color. I don't want to color all of this. I actually want to keep a fair bit of the I want to keep a fair bit of the inside of the can with a bit of white. I'm going to use probably some of my color lifter as well. You may be looking at the way I'm coloring and think, oh my God, how is that ever going to come out? Okay. But our blends are awesome because once they dry, they just soften and all blend in. And that light one, I think I need to get another one of the light ones because that light one, the brush tip is just about out of color. So let's add a little bit more around the outside here now. And with your blends, like I always say to people, just get in and play with them because the more you play with them, the better that you're going to get with it. All right. So that was our light. I'm going to add a little bit of dark. Now you can see I've left that in the middle. I left that in the middle. Why are we saying 3113? Lynn? Are we talking about where the blades are in the book? Is that what we're talking about? Hang on, I get my book. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. What have we got? 31, there's nothing there. Nope. 13. And there's nothing there. I'm assuming they would be in the back here somewhere. Okay, so we always have an index here. Cunning. Bone folder. Simply scoring tool. Cutting and scoring tools. Paper trimmer and accessories. 121. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was going to say 121 is where you can get your blades. Anyway. All right. So now I'm going to come in through with the dark. And I just like to use just the ball tip bit. And I'm just going to flick a little bit of this dark color in around the edge. I like to do the bottom nice and dark. But we are just adding a little bit of extra color in around the edges. So a little bit, flick a little bit more just in those bits there. We could actually do that a little bit darker if we wanted to, and then flicking and just randomly flicking in. You don't want to have it all looking the same. All right, and then I'm going to color down the side there. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get a little bit of color, and you're probably thinking, what are you doing? Then we come back through with our light, and we start in circular motions where that light is meeting the dark. We start in some circular motions and try to keep within the boundaries there. Okay, and we're just blending. We're just blending a little bit. We can go over some of that light that we've already done. And we're just blending. Okay. And I might just put a little bit more in there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our color lifter there. And I like to do the color lifter with my brush tip end. And I like to just blend those bits in there in that white circle. Okay. Now, when that dries, you'll find it will smooth right out. So once it starts to smooth right out, you're going to get more of a different look when it comes to your tin. So you want it to be fairly blended, but as it dries, you'll find it will actually blend out and give a real rustic looking can. All right, let's grab our petal pink for our flowers. So first of all, I'm going to cover them all with the light petal pink. Now, petal pink, you don't see a lot of difference when you shade with the petal pink and add some of the dark, but it will be enough to see a difference, a little bit of a difference. All right, so I'm going to do all my flowers in petal pink light. I'm going to come down here to these ones. We'll color those ones all in with the light. And I've probably colored a petal in there that, a leaf in there that I shouldn't have, but all good. All right, so we've got that. Now, I think I want to do a little bit with the light boho. Is this light boho? Light Night of Navy. Here we go again. Let's get rid of all the Night of Navies. Okay, we don't want that. What's this one? Light Night of Navy. What's this one? Dark Night of Navy. This one is Dark Boho Blue. Azure Afternoon we don't need. Azure Afternoon we don't need. Okay, we've got Light Boho and Dark Boho. And then I've got Dark Misty Moonlight. So I think for the Dark Misty Moonlight, I'm just going to do these little tiny ones here in the dark. So I'm going to, because it's little, I'm just going to do that with the ball tip end. Okay, so we're just adding a little bit of that dark misty in on those little tiny flowers there. I think they're flowers. I'm not quite sure. I think they're buds or something. I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's all right, Krista. Krista's saying that it's a good demo on colouring. I know that a lot of people struggle with blends, and it's because you probably haven't been given the confidence to use them in the way, and they're not, I think people overthink them. You know, we have a light and a dark, which is pretty easy. So we don't have a lot that we have to choose from. And I think by having the light and the dark, and I think I'm going to do dark on these ones, and I'm going to do the boho on the others. Just want to bring in a bit of the dark, but then I also want to bring in the boho to make it look that we've got a couple of different blues. So I'm just doing the smaller petals in the Misty. I think I'm going to do this flower here in the boho. So let's do this one in Misty as well. Now, if you think that a color is too dark, so say you've colored and you go, well, I don't know, I think that color looks a little bit too dark for my project. You can go back in with the color lifter and lift a little bit of the color out. So the color lifter is a fantastic tool when it comes to using your blends, because you can physically go in and use it to remove color. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to come in with my light boho. And I'm going to use the tip end on this one because this is a fairly big, I'm doing it very, very lightly. When you are coloring with your tip end, you do not need to use pressure at all. You really only need to brush that tip over your cardstock. Like absolutely just, you know how some people say that you just kiss it very lightly? That's actually what you need to do. So very, very light tip. You are hardly even touching the cardstock. That is going to protect the tips of your blends. If you do any pressure whatsoever, medium to heavy pressure, you will ruin your tips in one time of using your blends. You will physically ruin them. Now, I'm going to, the weather is atrocious today in Auckland. It's interfering with your reception, Pepe. Well, that's not good. The replay will always be there for you to watch when the weather clears up a little bit. Not good that you've got bad weather. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here now with my boho and add a bit of boho to these flowers. Now I'm sort of looking at the misty moonlight because I only had the dark. I'm looking at it thinking, is it too dark? What are your thoughts? Do you think that I need to lighten up that misty moonlight, or do you think that it's okay? What are your thoughts on it? Okay, so we've got 2 flowers there, all nicely done. Tell me what your thoughts are on, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, even though I've done the middle of that with petal pink, I'm going to go back through with my smoky slate, just my light smoky slate, and just add that to the inside of the flowers. And I think that just makes the flowers a little bit better. The petal pink, I'm going to use some of the dark, and I'm just going to go around the petals there and on the insides. And this is just going to add a little bit of depth to our flower, a little bit more contrast. You love it as it is, Jenna says. Type it in. Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think we need to lighten up that dark misty, or do you think it's okay? Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of dark just to add a little bit of contrast in those petal pink. You probably can't see it too much in the video, but it does just give those flowers a little bit more color. All right. But as you can see, look how that is. Now we could go back over that again with our color lifter a little bit more and just blend a little bit more all over. And that will lift a little bit more color out. Or we can go back with our light and go over again just to blend them a little bit more. I actually don't mind a little bit more in there and do a little bit more color lifter. Just want to blend those a little bit better around the edge. And then maybe we'll just swipe it a little bit with that color lifter again in that middle part there. Just like that. And maybe there. Leslie says it's okay. All right. We'll leave it. You're all saying it's okay, so we'll leave it. Okay, so now we've got some, I'm going to pop those back. I've got blends galore here, but we'll get rid of all of those because we don't need any of them anymore. I'll just push them off to the side. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our dies that are going to cut these out. So first of all, we're going to need our, is this the can? No? Yes. Get it the right way. Yes, that's the can. Okay, so we've got that flower there, which is this one. And we've got this flower here, High all in black. I don't know what that means. High all in black. What do you mean, Margaret? Highlighted in black? I don't know. Or are you saying hi all I'm back? I don't know. I'm looking at that like, I don't know what that means. All right, so we're going to line those up and get them ready for our cut and emboss machine. So I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold those in place. I'm assuming you're saying hi all I'm back. Okay, so a little bit of washi tape there on that one. Now, just a rule of thumb, try not to put your washi tape too heavy on these colored images because you've softened the cardstock with the alcohol markers. So don't press too heavy on your colored images because we don't want that washi tape to pull off any of our stamped image. Okay, so I think that one's okay there. All right, so we've got those ready to go. Oh, there. Okay, so let's bring in the cut and emboss and we will cut those out. Now, if you had a mini cut and emboss, you could use your mini here to do this because these are only small, so they would fit through the mini if you needed to. I just always have my big cut and emboss right beside me, so I like to use the big one because then I don't have to worry about whether I'm limited. But the mini is great, especially when you're going to things like card classes or retreats. The mini is fantastic for saving space and being able to do your die cutting without using up a huge amount of space on your desk. Okay, so let's do that. Put that back over there. Okay, all right. So let's bring back in these that we cut out. So we've got that flower there. So we'll make our mind up which flower we're going to use. Now I think I'm going, can you see how hard that washi tape is already? So be very careful when you're pulling it off your stamped colored designs that you don't pull up any of your coloring. Sometimes if you're a little bit hasty with it, you can actually easily tear that coloring. Okay, so let's carefully tear that one off there. Okay, so we've got our can and we've got our flowers. So we'll make the decision. Do we want to have the big bunch of flowers in the can? So of course it's going to sit on our card base like this. So are we going to have the big bunch of flowers or are we going to have the little? That one or that one? What are your thoughts? I actually like the big, but I mean, tell me what your thoughts are. So the big bunch of flowers or the little bunch? Tell me what your thought process is. I'm going to glue these down. I've decided I'm not going to wrap ribbon. I'm going to glue this bottom one down for a start. Or yeah, I'm going to glue the bottom one down. Sorry, my thought process. Big flowers, says Virginia. All right, so I'm just going to glue this one down onto my card base first. Okay, big bunch. Okay. I think you're all on the same wavelength as me. Okay, so I think that one there. I think I like the big too. I just think it looks prettier, don't you? How cute. Okay. Patricia says I like both, but make it big. What if we did both together? Is that going to be too much? Is it too much? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's too much. Faith saying both. I think it's too much. I think I'm just going to go with that one. All right. The next thing what we want to do is we want to take a sentiment out of here. I like this so lucky to know you, don't you think? So lucky to know you. I like that. Okay, let's stamp that. We've got this scrap piece of basic white here that we did our other stamping on. So let's stamp that. And I think I'm going to stamp it in maybe Misty Moonlight. So let's bring that in. Okay. So lucky to know you. There's lots of people that I feel like I'm so lucky to know them. All right. Let's grab that on a block. And we will grab our Misty Moonlight. Faith saying not too much. Sheila saying, oh, Faith. Oh, you girls make me laugh. All right. So I'm going to do so lucky to know you, like that. Okay, let's grab a punch to punch that out. Now, I'm sure my 1 3/4 inch punch would do it. Do I have a smaller punch here? I've got a 1 inch punch, but I think it will be, yeah, way too small. Wish I had my 1.5 inch punch, but it's probably out in my craft studio. That's a 3/4 inch. No, well, we're going to have to do the 1 3/4 inch is going to have to be it. Let's hope I've done it. Oh, that's not too bad. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. Pop that back over there. All right. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, I love this. Love, love, love this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my ribbon. I think I'm going to wrap my ribbon up and down here and put a bow up here. I think that's my thought process. All right. Now, the next question is, do we use the petal pink or do we use the basic white ribbon? That's our next choice. Petal pink or basic white. So do we use petal pink up and down on here? So that's my thought there, and I'll pop a bow up the top, which I think will look quite nice. Or do we use basic white? Hang on, we get this sitting on here so you can see what it looks like so. Do we use petal pink or do we use basic white? Can the small one go on the inside? We could use it. We won't waste it. Yeah, sounds good. Great idea, Andrea. Okay, petal pink or basic white? What are your thoughts? Let me know. The other thing I thought of, I do have some of these. I hope. The white. Okay, so we've got petal pink, petal pink, petal pink, white, white. So we've got 3 for petal pink and 2 for white. 3 each. 4 for petal pink. 4 each. Pink's it. Pink got it. Pink got it. Pink got to 5 first. And then there was another pink anyway. So pink, it definitely went to pink. All right, so let's grab that and we will put petal pink on the back. So I'm just going to turn that over and we'll put some Seal Plus there and Seal Plus there. Now, I have had people that have said to me about my Seal Plus hack that I put Seal Plus on behind here and stick my ribbon into it. I have done many different things. I have done glue dots. I have done liquid glue to hold my ribbon in the back. And I tell you, Seal Plus does the trick. That is what I use all the time when it comes to adhering my ribbon. And I don't have to do anything else. Once it's pressed hard into that Seal Plus, it will hold. It will be there and it will be perfect. Next thing I want to do is I want to add some dimensionals to those. And see, I'm putting a dimensional halfway over my ribbon as well. And that sort of, I don't know, gives me that safety zone. It makes me think that it's going to hold there okay. Now, you all know me with dimensionals. Do not skimp on your dimensionals, people, because I can honestly tell you, if you want a layer popped up, then pop the layer up. Please do not skimp on those dimensionals, because you don't want your layer like sagging in the post before the recipient actually gets their card. You physically don't want that to happen. So please don't skimp on those dimensionals. Make sure you have a lot of dimensionals on the back. You have my permission to buy an extra pack to make sure you have enough dimensionals on the back of your layers. You get 300 in a pack. Like, I mean, I go through them, I don't know, like I go through toothpaste or something, I don't know, or toilet paper probably. But yeah, I give myself permission to buy more. It's totally okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up on my card front. And I'm just going to have a little bit of a gap down the side. So maybe 1/4 of an inch down the side there, even top and bottom, and bam, got my layer on there. Then I'm going to, with these, I'm going to pop them up as well. So I'm going to grab some more dimensionals and we'll pop up our pot first. So, sorry, the can. The one thing is when you are doing these is to, whatever the base that you're going to put your flowers on, put the base down first, and then you can pop your flowers over the top. If you put the flowers down first, then you got to try and wiggle the tin or the can or the table, like whichever you want to use, the teapot, whatever you want to use with these, you got to try and wiggle it in underneath. So I always find it best to put this one down first and put the other one over. Now I'm totally okay that this is going to start to hang off here a little bit. That's going to give me more room for my sentiment label over here. So I don't mind that that's going to hang off a little bit over the edge there. Don't be scared to do that with your designs. Like, I always think it gives it a little bit more, I don't know, a bit of a quirky edge to have it actually like not being totally on that platform. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put any dimensionals down the bottom of these flowers because we want it to sit over the top. So I'm just going to put my dimensionals up a little bit so that that can slide over the top of that can, and I'm not going to have my dimensionals getting in the way of where I want those flowers to sit. Okay, and I might even put one just out there. Okay. It does soften the edges, Sheila. Yeah, exactly. And I just feel like taking your designs over the edge of a layer, it just changes the whole layout. All right, so we've got our flowers. We're gonna see, we can now hover that in. I could, if I wanted to, I could even tuck it in a little bit like that, so it actually looks like they're really hanging in. See how I can tuck that in there? And that's it. I'm going to pop them down there like that. Cute as a button. All right. Now, of course, we've got our sentiment here. Now, I want to pop my sentiment up, but I want to have the handle of the can hovering over the top of my layer. So I can actually, because there's no dimensionals or anything in the way there, I can actually slide this in underneath. They are pretty colors together, Leslie. I agree. They're gorgeous colors together. Okay. Now, if you're someone that struggles with stamping your sentiments straight, stamp on circles. It doesn't matter where you stamp in a circle. It's always going to be straight. It's just when you put it on your card, you got to stick it on straight. But honestly, stamp on circles. If you struggle lining sentiments up on straight pieces of paper or whatever, stamp on circles. It is one of the easiest things to have your sentiments look perfect every single time, because a circle has no straight edges for it to line up with. So, okay. I'm being so good trying to clean up my craft room here. I cleaned up my craft room big time the other day, and it's so nice to be crafting in a clean craft space. All right, so now I can use these flowers. I could use them down there in the bottom there. Now, we've got some of this designer series paper that we have left here. What could possibly look really, really cute is if we put like maybe a strip of the designer series paper on the inside. So I could possibly do this, but is it cut the right size? Probably not. Oh, it is. We could possibly do that, a strip of that. We could possibly do a strip of that and a strip of the pink. So let's try that. Why not? Now, I always say to people, please make sure you decorate the insides of your cards. It's really, really important. You go to so much trouble to make the outside of that card look so nice. You need to go to the same trouble to make the inside look nice. All right, so let's do that at 3/4 of an inch and pop it along there. Okay, so we need to cut that at 3 3/4. I mean, there, because it's just a smidge long. Okay, so we've got that. Let's cut a piece of this. Let's do maybe a piece of this. Let's do, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch, just a little sneak of this, and cut it at 3 3/4. There. Okay, let's do a little sneaky peek of that. All right, we could have used the ribbon in there, but doing designer series paper keeps the card not so bulky. All right, so let's try that. Pop those in the bin. You think I would have my bin closer to me? I have to keep getting up every time I put something in the bin. I'll rearrange that. All right, so I'm going to adhere those down. Thanks, Lynn. Lynn's my thumbs up control manager. Please give me the thumbs up, people. If you are loving what I'm doing, please give me the thumbs up. YouTube and Facebook love it when you do that for us. And it helps me get my videos out to more people. All right, so we've got that one there. Then, of course, we've got this little thin piece. Whoops, I need to wiggle that over that way a bit. Okay, then, of course, we've got this little thin piece. And I like it in the middle. I like it in the middle of that strip, I think. And then, of course, with our flowers. How cute is that? Okay. And I'm actually going to, let's do this. Okay, so we've got our little strip on the middle. They're like that. This one here, we're going to adhere. Oh, I'm loving this card. Okay, I'm going to bring it down over those strips a little bit. There, like that. Okay, now I don't know whether this one's going to fit, but we've got this stamp here, best friend ever. I mean, we're saying so lucky to know you. Of course they're going to be a best friend, aren't they? Let's see if that's going to fit. If it will fit, we can possibly, oh, it will. It will. And I feel like, oh, I'm going to sit it down there. And then it's going to give me enough room to write whatever I need to write. I'm going to sit it down there. That's going to work. Okay, so let's get this on a block. Sometimes I find it easier that it won't stick as hard on the cardstock. So let's grab that on a block. Best friend ever. And of course it's a little bit, it wanted to be a little bit twisted on that end, and I didn't want that. I want it nice and straight. All right, so let's grab our Misty Moonlight again. That looked really good. Thanks, Andrea. All right, it will just fit in there. Now, this is actually testing my luck by doing all that decorating and then stamping afterwards. But look at that. Perfecto. All right. Now, I've got some some embellishments. Can anyone tell me, are these still current? I don't think they are. Can anyone tell me whether they're still current? Let me see. I don't even know what they're called. Do we have embellishments in here in a section? I'm sure we do. Dies. Embellishments. Loose embellishments. Oh, they're all over the place. Page 115. Let's see. Oh, yes, they are. 23. There you go. They're called Rainbow Adhesive Back Dots. Number 23, right there. And it's on page 115 in our catalogue, number 23. Okay? So, yippee. They are still available. I just looked and I'm like, oh my God, we have petal pink there. That will look really, really pretty on this card. All right. So, we're going to add our insert to the inside of our card just with a little bit of liquid glue. All right. And we will pop that insert on the inside. So now, doesn't that just take the insert of that card to a whole new level? Look at that. Just a couple of little scrap bits of designer series paper. So don't throw your scraps out, people. You can physically, easily really create a beautiful inside. If the colors work, it doesn't matter. Oh, Faith. Yes, but I mean, like, I don't like to show things and put things on something if you can't buy it. Like, because then you're going to get frustrated with me and say, you showed us that and I can't get it. And then you're going to say, how do I, it's not coming up in the store. How do I find it? And then I have to say, I'm sorry, I use something that you can't get anymore. So I try not to do that. As much as I possibly can, I try not to do that. All right, so I seriously have to find my good scissors because I don't think these ones are them. But that cut that all right, so that's okay. All right, so of course, we are going to use glue dot to pop that on. It looks like my ribbon is so crooked on there. But anyway, maybe we could correct it with the glue dot. Okay. You're loving the card, Brenda? Thank you. All right. And of course, now I could put it, do I want to put the bow there or do I want to put it up the top? Okay, so that's the choice. Do we want to put it just here above the sentiment or do we want to put it at the top? What are your thoughts? Near the sentiment or up the top? They're probably not showing in the picture, Julie. Just because it's not showing in the picture doesn't mean it's not in them. That is what they are. They are rainbow. You need to put a piece of ribbon on a new pair of scissors and yeah, I know, Kathy. Top, 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 above the sentiment, top. I think top's got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, top's got it. So it's going to go up here. Okay, so we're going to glue that there. I'm actually going to do a glue dot. My ribbon is a little bit crooked up there. I know that you're all probably going, no, it's not. I can see that it is. So I'm just going to add another little glue dot and I'm just going to pull my ribbon over just a tad to straighten it up a little bit. There. Now I'm happy. You all probably thought, is she crazy? But anyway. All right. So, of course, we're going to use just the petal pink ones. And I feel like I want to put two and that little glue dot. So the adhesive back glue dot has come apart. So let's just pop that there where we want to put it. And then I'm going to pick it up and stick it on top. There we go. That. And then I think I want to sprinkle a couple around. So you all know me. I like to do odd numbers. So I think I'm going to, just with the smaller ones, sprinkle some around, just another 3. So let's do 1 there. Now, I'm staying on the blue because I don't think I want one on the can. No, I think I might pop one just up there. I'm staying on the blue so that those dots will show up, because if I put it on the petal pink, you're not going to see those dots on the petal pink. And then, of course, what's really going to finish it off is a little bit of Wink of Stella. I'm going to add some Wink on my flowers just to add a bit of shimmer and shine. So I'm going to do all the petal pink ones first, and then I'll go through on the blue and add some on the blue. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little bit. I did this last time and I ended up with heaps. There we go. We will spritz. And then I was looking at the screen of my computer and, you know, there is Wink of Stella all over the screen of my iMac computer. It is everywhere. It's like I've got a glittery computer screen in front of me. All right, so there you go. There you have it. So what a cute card. And I love the inside. Like, honestly, just popping a little bit of designer series paper on the inside. Okay, you guess you'll have to get the bundle and the paper. You already got the birdhouse. Honestly, they go together so nicely. So they are actually, I need to see if I can find it in here. There we go. Page 51. It is a gorgeous suite of products. So you all know, I love the timber paper. Here we go. This is the suite. So it's called the Country Woods Collection. You can find the whole suite. You can see on 48 and 49, the gorgeous projects that they've done with it. But then we've got the Country Woods paper. We've got the Country Lace paper. I could have used my basic grey and smoky slate pearls. I love them. I love them. They go with this suite perfectly. But I seen those embellishments there this morning and I thought, you know what? They are just perfect with the petal pink. So you can see there, if you buy the whole suite, so you can buy the whole suite collection. It is a large suite. It is definitely a large suite. So $266 worth of product. But you will get the birdhouse, country birdhouse, stamp and dies. You will get the country flowers, stamp and dies. You will get both lots of paper. You will get the embossing folder, which is gorgeous. You'll get the ribbon that I used, and you'll also get those of my favorites, those gems, the pearls. Now, this suite is on low inventory. So if you are thinking, maybe I want to get the whole suite, then jump in and get it. I looked this morning and the whole suite is on low inventory. You can buy things separately. So if you don't want all of the things that are in the suite, you can buy each bundle separately. Make sure you buy them in the bundle because you save 10% when you buy them in the bundle. But you can buy everything individually. If you want to buy just one lot of the paper, you don't want both lots, but I'm telling you, the timber, the Country Woods paper is my favorite paper by far. For scrapbooking, for card making, it is gorgeous. Apparently my incentive trip swap card was very, very popular with a lot of demos over in Mexico. And Rose Coleman, if anyone follows Rose Coleman from Canada, Rose actually had to recreate my card because she loved it so much. So, and she wasn't sure who the Australian demo was. And I actually had one of my team members that said to me, Rose Coleman made your incentive trip swap card. And so I actually messaged Rose and I said to her, that card that you actually loved and fell in love with from the incentive trip swap, that was my swap. She went, oh, thank you so much. I loved it so much. So she recreated it. And I was talking to another one of my friends from California, Marcy Bessica, and she was telling me that her and some of her friends loved it as well. There was a lot of chatter apparently about my incentive trip swap card. So I'm a little bit chuffed about that, but it's a gorgeous suite. So honestly, if you are thinking, you know, I want to get some products, but I don't know where to start, if you purchase a suite, you've got everything you need. You only need the ink and the cardstock to go with it, and you are set. You will be able to create so many cards with this beautiful suite. So, so as you can see, this card here, I mean, simple, came together, showcases a lot of the designer series paper and things, but a really simple, easy card. Just a little bit of coloring, but a super cute card. So hopefully you have enjoyed our crafty session this morning. There will be no crafty session tomorrow. Now I'm going to tell you straight off, there will be no crafty session tomorrow because I actually have a luncheon with the Stampin' Up leaders tomorrow in Brisbane. So I'm going to be heading to Brisbane and I'm probably going to spend the day up there. So I won't be live tomorrow at all, but I will be back on Wednesday morning at 8:30 with another live crafting session. So have a lovely day. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification that's right beside the subscribe button. Make sure you click on that and turn on all notifications. You'll get notified every time I go live by that bell notification. So please make sure that you turn that on. If you're on Facebook, like and follow my business page on Facebook. And thank you very much for hanging out with me. Once again, my name is Donna Gray and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Scenic Rim in Queensland, Australia. And anything that I have used today can be purchased through my online store. And if you want to help me achieve my 300,000 CSV career to date, please jump on and place any small order that will help me to reach that 300,000. And we worked out how much it is. It's nearly $500,000 in sales. I'm not anywhere near the $1 million in sales because I have to get it in CSV, not in Australian dollars. But in Australian dollars, that's nearly $500,000 that I've sold. So so any orders, as I said, to help me achieve that 300,000 before the end of September would be muchly appreciated.